Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here to try to help you get your robotics team to that next level. As some of you think, programming is pretty difficult. I'm going to show you how easy it is and how you can start winning more awards with it. As you know, in order to qualify for even or be considered for an excellence award, you have to attempt programming. And if you want to score some more points and really differentiate yourself from any other teams, this will be the way. First thing you're going to want to get for sure is this guy right here. And this is a touch LED. And the reason why you want to get this is going to be our start and stop button. So just going to put a couple pins in there and just place it anywhere you see fit for your robot. Today we're going to be using this guy, as it is the most common robot in Vex right now for this year's game. And you're just going to connect that to any port you wish. So I'm going to put mine in too. I'm going to show you how to get that set up. Once you have that plugged in, you're going to go ahead and plug in your robot to your computer. And we're going to get started with that. Okay, so first things first, you always want to make sure that your robot firmware is up to date. And once it is, we're going to name our project, and we'll just call this programming. And I'd like to save to, oh yeah, well, let's put this in our desk. I'm gonna put it in my desktop. Programming. Sure. Okay. So I have my programming code. I'm gonna select the slot. I have my controller programming on 1, so I'm gonna put this on 2. And I think we're ready to start adding our devices. So if we come over here, where this little port is, this is where you're going to define the devices that are connected onto your robot brain. So we're going to start off with our drivetrain. And you have how many motors just by looking at your drivetrain. So this is a 2-motor drivetrain. So let's jump on here. And you're going to find out where your motors are connected. So my right motor is actually connected to number 5, and my left motor is connected to number 10. So left motor 10, right motor 5, and I don't have a gyro on this. You may not. Just look for where it's put connected. If you don't, like I don't, then you're just going to click there and hit done. So we have our drivetrain on there. We do have another motor, which is this guy for our crane or our arm, and that guy's connected on 11. Hello. And so I'm going to go to add motor 11, and you can rename this to arm. Done. And the last thing we have is that touch LED sensor, which is on 2. Attach that on there. Okay, so now you're ready to get started with your program. First thing you're going to do is we're going to close that out, or not close it, we're going to take this away. And now we're just going to set all of our motors. So usually you want to set how strong your motor is. You want to set the type of brakes it's going to use, and you want to set your speeds. So we're going to come to the side, and we're going to set our arm velocity, and that's going to be how fast this crane goes up and down. You can set that to whatever you like. Usually when we're working with a grip, I like to keep mine nice and slow because I don't want it to jerk too much, so 50% sounds good. Your torque is how strong that's going to be. And if I'm carrying risers, I want that to be as strong as possible. So I'm going to set that to 100. And something to note, when you are working with the arm stopping, you want to set this to hold. And I'll tell you why. When you're carrying risers, if you have it on anything else, this arm will come down. But when you set it to a hold, it just locks. That is extremely important to leave. Okay, so we have those set. We're going to come to our drivetrain, and we're going to set our drivetrain velocity Sorry about that. My Screencastify is not unlimited, so I got cut off. Anyways, so I set my drive velocity. You can set your velocity to whatever speed you'd like. Personally, I do 75, and the reason being is you don't want it too fast either. And you can set your turn velocity. So when you start going too fast, you might not be as accurate as you'd like to be. So I'm gonna leave my turn velocity at about 50. And then, so once all that is set, and I'm gonna just leave I'll leave my stopping to brake, and that's just personal preference. So my torque is set, my velocity is set, and my brakes are set. The only thing left to do is give some kind of indication that we're ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to looks, and I'm going to set my touch LED color to a color, and we will put, I don't know, we're going to start off with the teal side. So let's go with a blue. So we know that we're working on the blues. And then we're going to wait until, I'm going to use the wait until. Now we're going to go to sensors, and we're going to wait until that. Where's my sensor? Touch LED is pressed. There we go. Okay. And so if I download that and I run it, my code is going to set all my motors, set all my speeds, set all my brakes, and when it's ready, it's going to give an indication by turning blue. And there it is. My robot is ready. So right now, the program says wait until it is touched. So I'm going to stop my program here, and we're actually ready to start programming the actual robot to start driving. So we're going to come down here so we can get a better view of our field. And we're going to try to push this blue riser in. And so I'm going to use my measuring stick to start our robot with. And I'm going to measure what I want it to do. So first of all, I need this robot to turn left. And that's real easy here. We can just come right into drivetrain, and you'll see that there is a turn left 90 degrees. Okay. Sorry about that. And we're going to go ahead and put that in there. And then after it turns left, I need our robot to drive straight. Now the distance is about 22 inches. So we're going to put on here, drive forward 22 inches. So I'm going to download that into our robot. And let's run it and see if we can get, so I'm going to hit run. And now my LED is blue, and when I touch it, it should start my program. Not work quite as well. And the reason for that is because the drivetrain appears to be backwards. So we're going to have to come back up here. So we're going to stop it. I'm going to come up here. And on drivetrain, we need to switch the direction because it's going backwards. So we're going to hit down, done. And now we should be able to download it. Okay, we're going to run it and see if that does what we need it to do. Okay, so it turned left and it went straight. Now the problem I had was the back wheel, as it was turning left, was hitting the back of the guard, so I might have to drive forward a couple of inches. Let's drive forward 3 inches before, we want it before we turn. Okay, sorry, I cut off again. So we wanted to drive forward and then make that turn so that this back wheel does not hit this back border. So we added a drive forward 3 inches. So it'll drive forward, make that 90-degree left turn, go forward, and we want it to push in this riser, those 22 inches. Once it's done, I want it to push in and then reverse. So I'm gonna drive, and let's reverse. So drive and reverse, and let's do 5 inches. So let's download that and see if we can push this riser in and reverse. So it's downloaded. I'm going to push run. My touch LED is blue. Remember, the code right here says wait until the touch LED is pressed. Once I push it, and there you have it. We just scored a blue riser. So after that, it's the same concepts apply. You're going to want to reverse more, turn right, and see if you can go for the next riser. And that's literally it. Try to get a completed row. That is worth 6 points, and that's 6 additional points added to your team. My advice is to try to get the completed row first, and then hopefully if your robot can get a stack, you go for that stack.